We have waited 5 long months, longer if you count all the teases throughout the summer, for this Vultures project to officially release. And it looks as if finally on Friday, Kanye is dropping at midnight. Ye's just announced a listening experience for the United Center this Thursday in Chicago. And luckily for me, he's coming back home, which means I can go, and I am super fucking hype. I just got tickets. But I want to go ahead and get all up to date with the Vultures news now, so that in 2 days when I go to this event, I could do my little vlog thing, which I hate that word, but it's what I do when I go to these Kanye shows. I think it's awesome from someone attending the event, that perspective, to share their experience from their point of view. I think it's real fun, and you guys do too. The views usually do pretty damn good. Really quick for my longtime viewers as well, I got a nose piercing. I have to address it because you're seeing it, and I'm sure somebody already left a hate comment, but I don't care because I like it. I don't know how well you can even see it because the new setup's so, like, further from the old one. But I don't know, something I want to do for a long time. And Ty Dolla $ign, he's got 2 nostril piercings. So I'm just doing it for Vultures Volume 1 coming out. That's the only reason I did this. Now for real though, I want to get like a black one, and I want it a little bit smaller than this one because they had to give me a decent sized one in case it starts swelling. Let's get into the news. Right before we hear Vultures Volume 1 live this Thursday, let's cover all that has occurred since my last update video. And we last left off with Kanye announcing Vultures Volume 1, 2, and 3, announcing that they're essentially a trilogy of projects, and also giving us the dates for those records through that little trailer video with the Havoc produced version of Vultures. Ye would be pretty active though on social media following that promo video, and he would post a picture of his daughter North's, like, what do you want to call it, a vision board, a layout for what she wants the music video for her track on Vultures to be. That track at first was called by fans You Don't Want, but now we know officially, I think so anyway, that it's called Talking. So we actually have pretty good reason to believe too that they did film this based on the scenes North wanted and future events that we know Ye and North were doing. We'll get into that in a little bit. And then on January 25th, Kanye would put out a story that said, "Tell Dirk, Little Dirk, to reactivate his Instagram. It's time to drop," which had people going crazy. Little Dirk, of course, is featured a few times on Vultures, of course, on the single Vultures, where his verse is fire. I don't want to see no Little Dirk hate in my comment section. I love his verse on that track. And then he's also on IG Model, which is dead, I believe. That's what people believe that track is called. This made everyone lose their shit. They're like, time to drop. And of course, there was a possibility that it was the Havoc produced version of that track, Vultures. But also just time to drop is like, the album? What the fuck? Dirk would eventually comment on Twitter and say, basically, I'm gonna drop my album soon, I'll reactivate soon, which it was said a lot less specific than that, by the way. That's my deciphering of it. It was a really weird fucking moment that led to nothing, honestly. I don't know. Very strange. And then also around this time, there's some controversy with the track Fuck Some, which to me is one of my most anticipated songs. We haven't heard this song played at any official rave or listening event. And also, I mean, the list for the features is stacked. Of course, you got Kanye and Ty, but also Playboi Carti and Quavo. The snippets we have heard of this thing are just, it's a hit. This song just sounds fucking awesome. But this song would be played in a club and someone would record it so we would get access to it and hear it. And it appeared as if Quavo was taken off the track, which to me, Quavo's verse, which we heard at the hotel little get-together, the studio sessions in the hotel after that second rave, we heard Quavo's verse and it sounded like really good, especially over that beat. He just killed it. It was like, why is he taken off of this? We would later learn that Quavo is still featured on the track through the North tracklist shirt, which we'll get into that in a little bit. But between the multiple different snippets of the beat being reworked and honestly sounding a lot less hype than it did in the original snippets we first heard as a fan base, I don't know. This is a really, like, to me, it's a grail track from this era, and I hope to God it's not changed too much from that OG snippet, because this thing could be one of the highlights of the album, in my opinion. I really think this track is like the Praise God of Vultures Volume 1 anyway, because praise God, man, at that first Atlanta listening party was so crazy, especially live. That thing was insane. The beat is just so great at that first event. And then by the time you got to the second listening party in Atlanta, it was reworked. And then the third edition of that track played at the Chicago listening party for Donda was like, I don't know, the official album version to me of Praise God doesn't do the original beat justice. And I hope to God that's not the case with this track. On the 27th of January, Dealey, who is a very well-trusted insider for this era, he would say that Ye and Ty Dolla $ign were locked in the studio on this night, the 27th. And they're in the studio putting the finishing touches on Vultures Volume 1. They were finishing the album on this night. A few days after that news, Ye would be seen in the public eye once again as he attended Charlie Wilson's Hollywood Star ceremony along with Snoop Dogg, Tyler the Creator, and of course, Ty Dolla $ign as well. Charlie Wilson, of course, a legendary vocalist, not even just in Kanye's catalog with, of course, his features on Yeezus with Bound 2 and multiple other tracks, but also in general, just his history as a musician is fascinating. But it was really cool to see Ye show some support to Charlie. And also he's wearing the mask again. It was like, cool. Fits fire. Nice moment. Good to go. The biggest news on this day, though, it would come after the ceremony, as this crazy-ass TMZ reporter goes up to Kanye and asks him the insane question of, Kanye, does your wife Bianca, does she have free will? Some people say you're really controlling. What an opening fucking question. Ye would, without hesitation, take her phone away. And here, I'm going to just show you guys the clip.
If Bianca has her free will, some people are saying you're controlling.
Kanye would then lecture her on how forwardly disrespectful her question was, and a lot of people were like, oh, maybe he went a little too far for one question. Number one, that question's insane. Number two, this is years of TMZ just putting out damning articles about Kanye, about his family, about his parenting and fatherhood when they don't know jack shit. I mean, specifically with the Kardashian divorce and everything, they're putting out some really just nasty shit about this guy. I know some people really don't like Kanye anymore, but like the day you catch me defending a member of the paparazzi, it ain't me. I'm dead, or like Kanye, I was cloned, bro. Kanye would then apparently feel bad as he gave her phone back and offered to pay her double of what TMZ is paying her, which is fucking hilarious. But shit would get even crazier as Ty Dolla $ign would go on Aiden Ross's stream. And of course, Aiden Ross being Aiden Ross, he would ask some pretty stupid questions. Between this and the Playboi Carti situation, and I mean, I'm not blaming Aiden Ross. And number one, obviously Aiden Ross got a lot more money and followers than me, so fair game. But like, if you got Ty Dolla $ign, you're in the same room as him and he's open to doing an interview and answering questions as he's doing an album with Kanye West, you know I would have got the answers out of this dude. I would have asked the right questions, and I don't know, it just sucks when you see people getting opportunities that like you would knock out of the park and they're just swinging and not connecting with the ball. I don't know if that makes sense. We would get a little bit of information. We would hear that Burn was the first song that Ty and Kanye worked together during this era for Vultures. We would also learn, see, this isn't even news to me. Each volume has new songs. It's not remixes. It's all new tracks. They're separate projects. We already knew that. And then you had the big thing and people acted like this was confirmed. Watch the video, man. They were like, oh, Ty confirmed they're going to do a tour together. First off, Kanye ain't never going to do a tour again in his life. And if he does, that shit ain't getting finished. I'm not being a hater. I literally have a stash of money, physical, in my room in a box that I call my Kanye tour fund. Like, I'm not fucking around. But if you believe with Kanye's track record over recent years that we could get a solid tour with the dates all finished, you're crazy. But back to this news, yeah, Ty just basically was like being optimistic about it, like, for sure, we'd love to do that. It wasn't like we're going on tour, volume 3 drops, it's over, St. Louis, Chicago. Well, that aged terribly, and I have no problem saying that, admitting when I'm wrong, because Kanye just posted this little graphic here of all his potential tour dates that he is scheduling right now. I still will say, don't get your hopes up until it's announced, until Kanye's on stage at that show, because like I said, look at the St. Pablo tour. But holy shit, man, he was talking also about how people are kind of blackballing him from performing in arenas as well, which is why they went with the United Center for the listening event this Thursday. I'm going to show you guys that clip right now.
Yo, this Ye. We just sold out the United Center in 7 minutes. And I just wanted to express to everybody out there to see if it's anyone that can help with this. It's the only arena that I had access to in the past year. And when I call, people say there's no avails for me. And you know why that is. So if there's anybody out there that can help with this, please do.
And what he's basically saying there is his words and actions in late 2022. They kind of made it so he's in a position where companies don't want to associate with him and have him host events at their shows, which, I mean, things have consequences. You got to kind of bite the bullet with that. But I think this United Center event, especially with it selling, like he said, selling out in 7 minutes, fucking crazy. I think money talks, and we definitely will see this happen if he so chooses. Being that Allegedly 2 volumes to go with Vultures, and also just so much happening. I'm not gonna bet the farm on Kanye actually going through with this tour, but I sure hope to God that he does. Be fucking awesome. Save your money, people. Now we get to that point in time where I believe they were shooting that North music video for the song Talking. On the night of January the 30th, Kanye was seen at Nobu with Kim and North. And North had all her friends there and everything. Significance of that is, of course, for her vision board for the music video. She said, I arrive at Nobu after driving, and all my friends are there to celebrate, so why the hell else would they be there? Unless they're just having a good time. I don't know. Fuck it. I don't know. I think she was filming for that, though. But the biggest news that came out of this whole dinner or whatever was that North was wearing a Vultures Volume 1 shirt. It was a long sleeve merch, you know, and on the back, it had a track list. First off, this is like the first official piece of merch from this era that I really want, so I hope to God it's available to buy on Thursday. But I'm just going to run through the track list here. I'm going to read it off, and then I will make my comments on certain tracks or things after. So here we go. Everybody featuring Charlie Wilson. Back to Me featuring Quavo and Freddie Gibbs. Fuck Some featuring Cardi and Quavo. Time Moving Slow. Beg Forgiveness featuring Chris Brown. Do It featuring YG. Paid featuring Future. Timbo Freestyle. Slide featuring James Blake. Promotion featuring Future. Vultures featuring Bump J and Lil Durk. Love, Love, Love. Talking featuring Northwest. Hood Rat. River featuring Young Thug and Leon Bridges. Gun to My Head featuring Kid Cudi. Take Off Your Dress. And Dead featuring Future and Lil Durk. So there's a few things that some people don't like. Overall, for me, this is looking like a big fat motherfucking dub. First off, Lil Baby's no longer on Everybody, which is great because his verse was very like low energy when we heard it at that Miami rave. James Blake on Slide? What the fuck is that gonna sound like? That's gonna be awesome. Quavo on Fuck Some's awesome as well. I'm so happy about that. And also he is on Back to Me, which I believe he just has ad-libs or whatever, but we'll see. Future on Paid is going to be interesting too. I think he should do good on that track. And in general, I love Kanye and Future together. And then Hood Rat. That song, you may say, oh, new song we haven't heard before. That's not fucking true. It's a lie. It was on Fabio Foreign documentary he put out on YouTube a little bit back. So we do have a snippet. It sounds crazy. It sounds like Yeezus era Kanye. There was also a snippet that leaked, I believe, on Discord too, and it sounds great. Now we got this shot of the track list on the 31st of January because the paparazzi pictures didn't come out till like the next day. So we saw that in the morning and that was really great. But then that same day we got the track list, at night, Ye would come out at Travis Scott's Circus Maximus show in Florida. Now this was teased heavily before the show. A lot of us thought he might go to the Chicago tour dates for Circus Maximus, maybe when a certain someone, that certain someone being me, was at the Chicago Circus Maximus concert. He did not, but it was still cool. He came out here and you hear those iconic Runaway keys and the place just went fucking nuts. Kanye played the hits like Can't Tell Me Nothing, Father Stretch, and also Vultures with Ty Dolla $ign and Bump J joining him on stage. And the whole time he's wearing this like Friday the 13th Jason inspired mask. Looked really fucking cool. It's just a great moment. Always love seeing Travis and Kanye together. But Ye, the big news coming out of this appearance, in my opinion, was that he would double down on the release date for Volume 1. He would say Vultures is coming February 9th. The energy overall is really high in the fan base. The date is coming up, the 9th that is, for the Volume 1 release date. And we're seeing Kanye hanging out with Westside Gunn and then Playboi Carti and Travis Scott. Allegedly, Kanye filmed some stuff with Playboi Carti and Travis as well. We don't know if maybe that's just for Cardi's upcoming project. He's allegedly rumored to drop next week now. But Kanye obviously has a very bad history of not releasing music videos, so I don't know. We'll see if this thing ever sees the light of day. Maybe it was Cardi filming for his part of Fuck Some. We know they shot that music video a few weeks back. But now we're getting into the real reason that I made this video today. And I want to start off with this. Now, that insider Dealey, he would put out the news about 3 weeks ago. When we first heard about this February 9th release date for Volume 1, he would say that unless they do a listening event that week before Friday the 9th, don't expect the album to drop. He would essentially say that Kanye and his camp, they really wanted to do a final event for Vultures before the project releases. And the occurrence of a listening party, essentially it was crucial if this project was going to drop. As Monday comes, the week of the 9th, and the alleged release of Vultures Volume 1, people are really anxious in the Kanye community because Kanye, on that Monday, he is just posting really just fashion stuff. Until finally, he would post a story simply with the number 1. Following that, just moments later, Kanye would put out another story, and this time, very similar, same type of graphic and design. It would read, Vultures United Center, Chicago, 2/8/24. Kanye officially announced the listening experience going down the Thursday before the release at midnight, and tickets would be put on sale the next day on Tuesday, the 6th, and sell out pretty much immediately. I got tickets. I'm so fucking hyped. We're officially here in the end zone. I can't believe it. I mean, man, I've covered this whole entire rollout since the summertime of last year when we thought maybe Kanye was going to come at us with his return project being just a solo album. And now, after 2 little bit chaotic listening events, we are finally here, United Center. The album's coming out Friday, allegedly, and I just can't fucking believe it. Now, the United Center put out a press release for this event and the announcement and everything, where they basically confirmed, or insinuated anyway, that the album was coming out at midnight. Obviously, no one knows what's going to happen with the album release, except for Kanye, and we've learned that the hard way over the years, with him delaying projects, scrapping them entirely, etc. But I think this gives us insight, if nothing else, as to what this event is going to be like. I'm just going to go ahead and read this. Of course, fans of the channel know my beef with journalism and people trying to put spicy little adjectives and shit in to make it sound good, and it just kind of comes off as a little lame, a little cringy. But it reads this: fans will have the rare opportunity to experience Vultures Volume 1 in a high-fidelity audio and visual showcase, crafted by Kanye West and Ty Dolla $ign. This event marks a historic moment as attendees will listen to the album together with the artists and the album collaborators before it becomes available to the general public at 11 p.m. Central on the same day. Now, of course, in Central, that means midnight Eastern, when albums usually drop, which is rare for Kanye. Usually doesn't do that shit. He usually drops the album. It's a very rushed process. It gets mixed barely and put out the next day at some random time in the middle of the day. We heard from Dealey that they finished the album in late January, and I would assume so. They're at least putting some work in because they got 2 other volumes of Vultures projects to drop. But it is just so whack to me that Kanye maybe has this thing already finished. The files are already ready to be put on streaming or whatever he's gonna do with him being independent now. Okay, I'm back really quick, mid-editing, to just add that on Kanye's news site he's got called Use, which is yay and news combined, very clever. It was reported that, when they did an article about this listening experience, the album's dropping at midnight, so seems pretty legit to me if it's being reported on Kanye's own website. I can't wait. I'm just so hyped, man. I honestly can't believe I got tickets. I got really lucky with it selling out that quickly. I only had 1,000 people in the waiting room ahead of me. It was just God. He was like, man, I gotta bless my boy Digital. How the fuck are you gonna have other people there other than me? I've been slaving away covering this rollout, and I get disrespected all the time. I don't get my credit ever. By the Kanye community, by the YouTube community, it's bullshit. So I'm happy I'm here. I think the songs on the track list here for Volume 1 that we heard at the previous listening parties in December, they had so much potential. Even though Kanye, obviously they weren't finished, he was mumbling his verses, he didn't have proper lyrics, etc. If he finished these things, he tuned all the tracks up perfectly, we may be looking at Kanye's best album since, I don't know, The Life of Pablo. And I'm not dissing Ye, I'm not dissing Donda, I am dissing Jesus is King. I'm not that high on it aside from a few other tracks. But in general, there's so many really solid songs on this album. I think this thing's gonna be fucking great. I'm so excited too to hear these live at the United Center. In my opinion, going to so many concerts in Chicago over the years, I would say United Center's up there with having better acoustics. Certainly better than Allstate Arena and Rosemont. Soldier Field's great, but at the same time, it's open, right? It's a stadium with no roof, so you get the noise escaping sometimes. Really like Wintrust Arena, but I think Kanye wants a little bit more capacity than, I don't know, fucking 7,000. I will be there live this Thursday. If you see me at the United Center and you're going, don't be scared to say hi. I love every single one of you. If you take the time out of your day to watch me talk about some random bullshit, I can never wrap my head around the fact that people give a shit about my words and thoughts on things. But yeah, should be a great time. It's being live streamed as well, so everybody who can't make it, obviously, I hope you enjoy it, and I hope these things are finished, man. It's going to be a very interesting set of events going down Thursday night. I'll be coming at you guys with a vlog of my personal experience at this event. I imagine sometime Friday, I think, around that time. If you want to see my opinions on things earlier than that, as well as just anything going on in the music industry, what I got to say about it, go ahead and follow me on Twitter at DigitalXDWNLD and on Instagram, just Casey Colkin. I'll be updating there as well as when you guys can expect the vlog, as well as, of course, future uploads and anything I'm working on at this moment. But we are finally here after how many months, after how many years of not having an official Kanye album fully finished on streaming. Donda 2 was not finished. Hope everyone enjoys the event on Thursday. Hope everyone hopefully enjoys the album if it drops on Friday at midnight. Hope to God it does. And I'll catch you in the next one.